and now I'm able to still use it here. So that's, God, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Fucking stupid. Hello everyone, my name is Hugo and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do a book haul, but not just any book haul, it's a comic book haul. I haven't done any of these. I only got into comics a couple months ago, got back into comics because as a kid, comics was all I read. And it had to have pictures or I wouldn't read it as a kid. So I used to read the Donald Duck comics a lot and the Mickey Mouse comics, whatever it is, those little magazines. And I read Tintin, a lot of Belgian comics, Asterix and Obelix. I read Jommeke, Suske and Wiske, you won't know these, but Asterix and Obelix is French. But yeah, I read a lot of comics as a kid, and now recently, well, I say recently, a couple months ago, I started to get back into them. So I've always loved DC, so there's gonna be a lot of DC in here, but I never got into the DC comics because they were just way too expensive to buy. And it's also so difficult to get into, I think. Because it's a continuing series most of the time, right? So I'm recording, right? Yeah, okay. Sorry, I recorded the first like 5 minutes of this video already and it wasn't recording. So it's always so difficult to get into because if you just buy what came out latest, you're just gonna be in the middle of the series and page 1 might be the main character fucking dying for the millionth time. So you don't know what's going on then. So now with the internet and YouTube and whatever, I did a lot of research on where to start. And I am also now able to get some comics, which I really like, so I'm slowly starting to build a collection. And that's what I have for you. Now, what I do want to recommend though, because comics are so expensive, there's two options you have to be able to still read comics while not spending a penny. That's one, your local library, which depending on your library, it's gonna have a lot of comics or it's not gonna have a lot. But two, and I discovered this when I was in the States a couple months ago, is Hoopla. And Hoopla is basically an app on your tablet or phone that lets you borrow books for 21 days, and each month you can borrow 10 books. And they stay on there for 21 days and then they're gone, but you can borrow them again if you didn't finish them. And they have a lot of comics on there. So that's how I got into comics again, because I was in the States and I heard about Hoopla way before, but it's not a thing in Europe. So I bought myself a very cheap tablet over there to be able to download Hoopla in the States. And now I'm still able to use it here because I have an American tablet. And I got to read a lot of comics. They have a lot. Books, they have like certain things, it's nice. Audiobooks, they have a couple things. Movies, I wouldn't download it for the movies. But like they have a lot of comics and it's very well worth it, I think, because if you have to buy all of the comics that you want to read, you're going to be spending lots and lots of money, which I certainly don't have so much money to just spend on comics. So I am so grateful I found Hoopla because it's a real lifesaver, literally, probably, if you have some medical bills over there or something. So, but yeah, without further ado, I will just get into the comic. This first one is Batman and Robin Must Die, and it's by Grant Morrison. It's the hardcover. Oh yeah, there's one in here too. I got this for Christmas from Emily's dad. Which was very sweet. And yeah, I haven't gotten to this one because it's part of a series too, the Grant Morrison series, but yeah, it's really pretty and I love the art style by Fraser Irving and David Finch. Then I went to Half Price Books and I got a random 93-cent Green Arrow comic because I like the comic and I like the cover, I mean. This is from the DC Universe Rebirth, but I just really like the cover. So if anything, it's just to like frame up somewhere or something, because it's part of a series and I can't just start with that one, like I said before. Then I bought, so yeah, a little history, or do you guys not care? I'm gonna tell you anyway. So I I did a lot of research, as I said, of where I should start with DC. And lots of videos were saying, well, a good place to start if you don't want to go all the way back is DC Rebirth. And every so many years, DC decides to reboot all of their characters, except for Batman, I think. So they decide to reboot all of their characters with some kind of DC event. So I actually started like, all right, so, but I still need to know what's going on. So what was before DC Rebirth was the New 52, and I read a couple of things about it, and Batman was really good, but all the other things were not so good. So I was like, all right, DC Rebirth sounds like a good place to start. So I started reading the Road to DC Rebirth comics, and they were so good, but they were part of the New 52. So the compulsive freak show that I am, I was like, well, now I gotta know what came before this instead of like what to know that came after this. But here's the kicker. I already bought a lot of DC Rebirth comic books, and now they're still in the wrapper because I'm reading the New 52 first and kind of reading like stuff about whatever came before that. Does that make any sense? It's hard to get into. Anyway, this is Jeff Johns' The Flash Omnibus Volume 1. I really like this cover, and I've heard his run of The Flash, Jeff Johns' run, is really good. So we follow Wally West here, not Barry Allen, because Barry Allen is missing here, so. But that's the thing, like I bought this and then I was like, oh, I gotta read Flashpoint first, because, or that's in here. See, I'm so confused now, but it's still in the wrapper. I'm getting to it, but yeah, Jeff Johns is The Flash. Then, as I said, I was gonna read the Batman New 52 series. This is by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. The art in this is gorgeous. I am getting through this. I'm about halfway through this comic, but seriously, like, the art is really beautiful, and it's just any page you open, it's like a frameable picture. It's so beautiful. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the New 52 Batman series. I did know that was a very good run on Batman, and that it's like a, I don't want to say grown-up Batman, obviously, but like it's not an origin story, like it is and it isn't. You start off when he's already Batman for a couple of years. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this, and the art is probably the best art in comics that I have seen so far. Then I am a big Superman fan, so I got this Superman Batman Omnibus, and it is by Jeff Loeb and Mark Verheiden, because I think it's Dutch. But yeah, Jeff Loeb's Batman series is also very popular, and I haven't opened this one yet. It's still in the wrapper. I will leave it in until I want to read it. But I've heard a lot of good things about this, and I love when they team up, and I love Superman. I think he's very underrated. Not underrated in terms of power, but underrated in terms of how good of a character he is, because people are always saying like, oh, Superman, he's all powerful and he can't die and he's boring and whatever. I really don't think he's boring. He's one of my favorite superheroes, actually. And then with Batman, obviously also one of my favorites. He's one of everyone's favorites. So that's why I bought that one. I got that one for Christmas from my parents, by the way. Gotta give credit when credit's due, right? Then I bought the All-Star Superman, the Deluxe edition. The art in this is also really pretty. It's different than I expected it to be, but very pretty nonetheless. I just gonna show you a random page. Yeah, this is a 12-issue standalone series about Superman dying, I think. Like, spoiler alert, I suppose. But yeah, it's considered one of the better Superman series. And I bought this mostly because it was a 12-issue series that I could just read and be done without having to go into the whole continuing series. So that's why I bought this. It's a really nice edition too, with the Deluxe edition. Then I also bought the IDW collection of the TMNT, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. by Kevin Eastman and Tom Waltz. I freaking love this series. This might be one of my favorite comic series ever. And again, the art in this also really, really pretty. Like, it's so good. The art in this is so good. This includes issue 1 till 12, if I'm not wrong, and then the mini series of their individual stories. So you got like just one issue, one and done issue of Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Leonardo. It's about the Turtles, obviously. It's an origin story. So like it starts from the beginning, this series, which I really liked. And what I really like about this, there's no, I know they team up with Batman in some way, which I'm very excited about as well. But I know, like, apart from that, there's no crazy multiverse going on. There's nothing else like Justice League, multiple characters that you have to read. You can just read this and be done with it. That's what I really like about this. So, TMNT. Then I also bought my very first manga ever. It's volume 1, 2, and 3 of Fullmetal Alchemist. Very popular, obviously. Lots of people know about this. It's about alchemy, and people say if you want to get into manga / anime and you like things like Last Airbender, this is a really good way to begin. So that's why I bought this. I haven't read it yet. I am excited to, because I've been wanting to get into manga or anime for years, but I tried anime, never tried manga. I tried anime, but it was just not for me. I didn't think it was bad, but it was just not something I would put on. I would rather watch other things. And not because I don't watch cartoons, because I do watch cartoons. I like Last Airbender, and I like the Young Justice cartoon and other DC cartoons that I watch every now and then. So, but yeah, I'm very excited about this. I've heard good things about it. My brother really likes this too, so that's on his recommendation I bought this. Then I got the Rebirth Deluxe editions of The Flash. I got book 1 and 2. As you can see, they're still in the wrapper. But they were, I bought this like on sale too, so, and we all know with comics, sometimes they just, once they stop printing them, they stop printing them, and there's nothing you can do about that. So this is the DC Rebirth run. And yeah, I haven't gotten around to it because I want to read the New 52 first, so I don't know a whole lot about it, which is intentional because I don't want to be spoiled. I heard Nightwing is one of my favorite superheroes, by the way. So I got 1 and 2 too of Nightwing, and I heard really good things about this run. So that's one I have. Then I got book 3 and book 1 of Batman. I simply skipped book 2 because it was still full price, and this one was on sale, book 3. So that's why I already bought it. And then I got Batman Detective Comics, which is a different run, book 1. And then I got Superman, book 1. I have Road to Rebirth, Superman, The Final Days of Superman. I read this, really great. That was really good. This is the reason why I want to read New 52 first now, because like it connects the two, right? That's why it's Road to Rebirth, but this was just so good. I don't understand. Maybe when I read the New 52 in full, I will understand, but I don't understand what people have against the New 52 because it's so good. Like, look at this art. It's so good. Like, I don't know, it's just so good. This is by Peter Tomasi, Mikael Hanin, and Doug Mankey, if I pronounce that correctly. Then I got from Emily's dad again, I got The Death of Superman, in this old school comic. I did read this. I borrowed his copy back in the States. I read it there, and then they came to visit us here in Belgium to be at the wedding, and he brought this. He found it at a flea market or something. So I'm very happy with this, obviously. This one I also got from him, but I got this for Christmas. This is Batman and Son. This is also by Jeff Loeb, if I'm not... No, this is the Grant Morrison run. But so it's not the starting point, so that's why I haven't read this one yet. And I got Batman the Killing Joke, which is a really good comic if you just want a single comic that you can read without having to read lots of other stuff. I got this from Emily's dad as well for Christmas. This is a really creepy and a very good Joker story. And then lastly, I just got these at a thrift store. 2 Sonic comic books. I like Sonic. I'm wearing a Sonic t-shirt right now. Never read the comics, obviously. I just play the games and watch the show, the weird animated show, not the new Sonic Boom one, but the old one. I watched that as a kid, so that's why I got these random comics just to have, I suppose. So those were all the comics I got. More to come, obviously. I'm very excited. I have lots to read, and I can still read Hoopla on my tablet, so that's great. I'm still reading on that too. So yeah, that's all. Thank you for watching. Let me know which one you liked. Let me know what got you into comics, stuff like that. Let me know all of that in the comments. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.